Have you ever saved money so carefully that you slowly stopped living your life? You skipped small joys. You avoided simple comforts. You told yourself it was for the future, for someday. But deep inside, you still felt that one bad day could take everything away. Because sometimes the problem isn't how little we earn. Sometimes the problem is how we use what we already have. And yeah, this is the story of a man who learned that the hard way. In a quiet town where electricity failed almost every night, there lived a man named Ethan. Just an ordinary guy, really. Ethan worked as a night security guard at a large warehouse far from the busy streets. His job was simple. Walk the empty halls, check the gates, stay awake until sunrise. Pretty straightforward, right? But his life was not simple. Every morning he came home exhausted, his body heavy, his mind restless. Bills waited, rent waited, and the future, well, it always felt uncertain. In Ethan's town, power cuts were normal, sometimes for hours, sometimes for entire nights. When the lights went out, food spoiled quickly. Phones died, fans stopped spinning. Even studying became difficult. One evening during dinner, the lights suddenly disappeared again. Just like that, the house fell into darkness. Ethan's wife, Mia, quietly lit a small candle. Their son, Leo, held his notebook in the weak light and asked softly, "How can I study like this?" The question was simple, but, man, it stayed inside Ethan's heart. That night, Ethan made a promise to himself. He figured something had to change. He would save enough money to buy a generator. People said that once you owned one, life became easier, more secure, more stable. So Ethan took an old envelope. On the front, he carefully wrote one word, generator. Every week he placed money inside it, slowly, carefully, little by little, quietly. To save faster, Ethan began cutting small things from his life. He stopped buying tea on cold mornings. He stopped buying fruit for himself. He ignored his worn-out shoes. Every sacrifice felt painful, but he kept telling himself it was worth it. Whenever he felt tired or frustrated, he reminded himself, "This is for the future," and slowly the envelope grew heavier. For a moment it felt like safety, or at least it felt close. But life rarely follows perfect plans. You probably know that already. One night, Leo developed a high fever. They rushed him to the clinic. The doctor asked for payment before treatment. Ethan ran home, opened the drawer, and grabbed money from the envelope. Within minutes, the savings became thin. Leo recovered. Thank God. But Ethan did not feel relief. He felt fear. Soon after that, the rent increased. Then his boss warned him that his shoes were unsafe. More money disappeared, just like that. The envelope became empty again. Ethan began working longer hours, sleeping less, talking less. Saving money was supposed to create peace, but instead it created anxiety. The more he saved, the more afraid he became of losing it. And honestly, deep inside, he began to wonder if safety was only an illusion. Have you ever felt that gnawing fear in the pit of your stomach, the one that tells you to hold on to every single penny? That was Ethan's world. He lived in a small town where opportunities were as scarce as rain in a drought. His parents had worked their fingers to the bone, yet they never seemed to escape the constant worry about money. So Ethan learned to save. He saved every coin, stuffing it into a worn-out shoebox under his bed. That box wasn't just money. It was his shield against the world, his hope for a future different from his parents'. But a shield can also be a cage. Ethan's fear of losing his savings was so great that he never actually used them. He'd walk past the local bakery, smelling the fresh bread he couldn't bring himself to buy. He saw his friends starting families, taking small risks, and building lives while he was just counting. His savings grew, but so did his loneliness. The security he thought he was building felt more like a prison, with walls made of coins and faded bills. One evening, the power went out. It was a common occurrence, plunging the entire town into darkness and silence. Ethan sat alone, the familiar anxiety creeping in. But this time, something was different. As he fumbled for a candle, an idea sparked in the darkness. What if he wasn't the only one who needed light? What if his savings could do more than just sit in a box? The next day, Ethan did something that terrified him. He took a small portion of his savings and bought 10 high-quality, rechargeable lanterns. His hands trembled as he handed over the money. It felt like giving away a piece of his soul. He set up a small sign outside his house. "Lanterns for rent. Light up your night." The first few nights were slow. People were skeptical. But then another blackout hit, longer this time. A neighbor, a young mother with a scared child, knocked on his door. Ethan rented her a lantern, and the relief on her face was brighter than the light itself. Word spread quickly after that. Soon, every time the power went out, a line formed at Ethan's door. He wasn't just renting out lanterns. He was providing peace of mind, a sense of normalcy in the chaos. With his earnings, he bought more lanterns, then invested in a small solar panel to charge them for free. He was no longer just a saver. He was a provider, a problem solver. His small business lit up homes across town, and in the process, it lit up something inside him. He started talking to his customers, hearing their stories, and feeling a connection he'd never known. The fear that had once paralyzed him was slowly being replaced by a sense of purpose. Ethan learned that true financial security wasn't about the number in his shoebox. It was about the ability to create value, to help others, and to build something real. His lanterns became a symbol of hope in his town, and for Ethan, they were a testament to the power of turning fear into action. He was no longer just surviving. He was thriving, and his community was brighter for it. What's a fear that you've turned into an opportunity? Share your story in the comments below. And if this inspired you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that shine a light in the dark. Thanks for watching.